Have you ever felt scared to ask God for something that you perceive to be impossible? Are you feeling scared of trusting God for that healing, that new job, or that relationship? Perhaps you're scared to trust that He is faithful enough to bring you through the storm you are currently experiencing. If fear's what's been stopping you from trusting God for the impossible, God is asking you today to hold on to that tiny faith that you have left. That faith is the size of a mustard seed. All He needs is that faith from you to move whichever mountain that's currently acting as a stumbling block in your life. That faith is about to make a miracle manifest in your life. I'm reminded of the story of the woman with the issue of blood. She'd been sick for 12 years straight. The Bible says she'd gone to all doctors and used up all her money trying to get treatment. She'd exhausted all her options. Well, not quite all of them, because Jesus showed up. Most people would naturally give up after so many attempts to get rid of a problem unsuccessfully. But not this woman. We're told that when she heard that Jesus would be passing by, she began to meditate upon her healing. She played out everything in her mind and saw herself as whole immediately after touching the cloak of Christ. I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty profound. Think about it. This is the first miracle she's received from Jesus. She's never seen Him do anything for anyone else before. But because she meditated and imagined herself as whole in her mind, she was able to snatch a miracle and have her situation shift in an instant. The Bible tells us that as soon as she touched His cloak, the blood stopped flowing immediately. And the same can happen to you. Something is about to shift immediately. But first, you must use the powerful tool God gave you to visualize yourself in the state of the finished miracle. Jesus taught that whatsoever we desired when praying, we are to first believe that we have received it, and we shall have it. Trusting God when everything is going right is so easy. It becomes a challenge when things are going wrong. When nothing seems to be working out in your life, it's easy to feel like God's abandoned you. Just think about Peter for a second. Think about his first encounter with Jesus. The Bible says that Peter and his brother had been working all night and they had not caught any fish. Can you imagine how frustrating and depressing it must have felt? Not just because they didn't catch anything, but because they were professional fishermen. Remember, they depended on fishing as their main source of income. By the time Jesus was approaching them, they were already washing their nets. This means that they had already given up catching any fish. The whole situation looked impossible. They had been trying throughout the night and they had not caught anything. They were ready to pack up and leave. But then, something miraculous happened. Jesus showed up. After He was done teaching the crowd that had gathered to listen to Him, He went ahead and asked Peter to do something that sounded completely crazy. As he stood on the boat, He asked Peter to cast down the net one more time. Take a second and think about what must have been running through Peter's mind. Like many of us today, Peter must have thought, does he not see that I have tried everything? Does he know what he's saying? I'm the fisherman. I know for a fact that if there were fish to be caught, we would have caught them by now. That is how most of us are with God. We still find ourselves questioning God's ability to do something for us, despite Him giving us multiple assurances in His love letter to us, the Bible, that He will do for us above and beyond what we can ask, think, or even imagine. We still struggle with trusting Him with what we feel is impossible. But the most beautiful part of the story is coming right up. Even though Peter doubted the need to cast down the net, he went ahead and did it anyway. He went ahead and trusted anyway. He went ahead and gave it a shot. And do you know what happened? The provision that they experienced that day surpassed any catch they'd ever gotten. Right before their eyes, the impossible happened. Take note of the fact that the presence of your problem is what qualifies you for visitation by Jesus. Peter and his friends didn't even call for Him. Jesus just showed up. And He's about to show up for you too. Let us also remember the story of the widow with 2 small coins, Luke 21:1-4. Everyone else was dropping large amounts of money in the treasury, but she gave all that she had. In the same way, we need to give all that we have to God and trust that He will do miracles in our lives. So, my dear friends, I just want to encourage you. Before you wash your nets and give up, try casting it one more time. Before you pack up and give it all up, trust God one more time. His plans for you are good. Let us choose to trust God in all areas of our lives. Let's have the kind of faith that says, even though I can't see the outcome, I believe God will make a way. Because when we trust Him with the impossible, we can expect the miraculous. May the blessings and favor of the Lord be upon you. Shalom.